With the recent rank reset and patch notes update, some weapons have received balancing adjustments. Some receive a buff while others were nerfed. These changes also affect the weapons that can be part of the current meta. In this video, we'll go over the top 10 weapons showcasing their attachments and why they deserve a spot in your loadout. At the bottom of the list, we have two pistols, the Glock with the Akimbo attachment and Magnum. Let's start with the Glock Akimbo. I've made videos before whether it's top 5 or top 10 guns, and this gun has always been part of the list. And one of the main reasons for that is because of its reliability. Bullet count and damage wise, this gun excels in both as long as it's within 10 meters. This gun deals 45 headshot damage, 32 damage on the upper body, and 30 damage on the lower body. Of course, given that it uses an Akimbo attachment, the range is not that great, but it can definitely go head to head with other SMGs if it's within 10 meters. The Magnum on the other hand is also a great secondary weapon. Honestly, this gun has lots of attachment variations. This gun is a pistol, but you can make it fire like a shotgun if you choose the Viper Mag, the one that I'm currently using. A single bullet is like divided into 3 pellets, and deals 40 damage each on the upper and lower body while it deals 56 headshot damage. So you can knock enemies down with just 2-3 bullets, which is insane. It's given that it's more accurate if you fire while you ADS, but it's also accurate when you hipfire. Just use the Magnum on enemies within 10 meters to maximize its damage. These are the attachments. Next on the list, we have the M1887. This is one of the high burst shotguns where you can 3-tap enemies if you hit your shots. Since it's a shotgun, you need to be close as much as possible to deal high damage. It deals 43 damage per pellet at 5 meters while it deals 54 damage at 3 to 4 meters. If you compare it with the Magnum, the M1887 has a slightly higher damage, especially when paired with the Dragon Breath Mag, but it's a bit lacking in range. That said, if you use it the right way, aggressively pushing tight spaces, holding corners, and forcing close range fights, you'll absolutely dominate with this gun. In close quarters, it melts enemies before they even have the time to react. These are the attachments. Up next, we have the AR-97. The AR-97 received multiple buffs over the last few months. They have increased abdominal and limb damage from 31 to 32. They have also addressed the issue of the reticle sway of this gun, which makes it a bit difficult to land your shots at longer distances. They have significantly reduced the sway effect, and it's much better than before. The damage drop-off has also been reduced, which means that it now deals consistent damage in longer ranges. This gun now deals 51 headshot damage, 35 damage on the upper chest, 34 on the lower chest, and 32 damage on the lower body at 30 meters. The damage begins to drop on enemies at 40 meters and it only deals 45 headshot damage, 31 on the upper chest, 30 on the lower chest area, and 28 damage on the lower body. Aside from that, they have increased the fire rate and significantly reduced the recoil. Even though they improved the reticle sway of this gun, there are still times where shots don't land or register well in longer distances. That's why sometimes I go for the 4x scope for better long-range visibility. These are the attachments. Next, we have the AK-47. I've always included this gun in my top weapon list, and recently it actually received a buff and it now deals 32 damage on the upper chest area. This is one of the balanced assault rifles that can be used both in mid-range and long-range fights, but it's outclassed by other ARs with its lower fire rate. This gun deals 44 headshot damage, 32 upper body damage, and 28 lower body damage at 30 meters. The damage begins to drop on enemies at 40 meters and it only deals 39 headshot damage, 28 on the upper body, and 25 on the lower body. This is actually a great choice if you're tired of using the RPK and Spear. These are the attachments. Up next, we have the RPK. This LMG was one of the guns that were at the top of the meta, but recently it received a nerf. The upper and lower chest as well as the abdominal damage has been reduced from 29 to 27. It still deals 37 headshot damage and 20 damage on the lower body at 50 meters. The damage begins to drop on enemies at 60 meters and it only deals 33 headshot damage, 24 upper body damage, and 18 damage on the lower body. Aside from the damage reduction, the RPK suppression effect has also been reduced. Suppression is basically how much your screen shakes or your aim gets disrupted when you're being shot. This was actually one of the main reasons why the RPK was a top pick. It was extremely hard to go head-to-head against a weapon that could both deal heavy damage and mess up your aim at the same time. A lot of players, including myself, overlook its slow ADS speed because the suppression advantage helps you win more fights anyway. The suppression effect is still there, though not as strong as how it was before. These are the attachments. At 5th place, we have a sniper, the M82. The M82 have received balancing adjustments and its race time has been reduced by 0.1 seconds. It's not that much, but you can definitely see the difference. There's also a buff on its damage when using the heavy barrel and it now deals 250 headshot damage and 150 damage on the upper chest area. They have also slightly increased the ADS speed. These adjustments help the M82 to be part of the meta. There are other sniper rifles in the game, but only two of them, the Kala and M82, are suited for long-range gunfights, especially in maps like the Skyline and Deserted Valley. The reason why I chose the M82 over the Kala is because of its slightly faster ADS speed. It's also a bit lighter and has a faster fire rate, so it's a bit easier for follow-up shots. If the M82 didn't receive a buff on its damage, then I would go for the Kala. One thing that I also noticed is that the M82 has a longer duration in its burn damage as compared with the Kala. These are the attachments. Next, we have the MP5 and P90. I place these two SMGs, the MP5 and P90, in the same rank because they are very close in overall power and performance in the current meta. Both weapons excel in close-range fights, offering strong mobility, solid fire rate, and a reliable time to kill. If you prefer overall stability in terms of its performance, then go for the MP5. It has more range, a higher damage, and better recoil control. The fire rate is decent, perfect for effectively tracking targets at close range, and it's more forgiving if you miss some of your shots, since you won't run out immediately of bullets because of its fire rate. P90 on the other hand performs best in very close range fights. It received a big nerf on its range, but you can still deal consistent damage even at 10 meters if you use the carbine barrel instead of the short barrel. You'll lose some of your mobility and fire accuracy, but it's a small price to pay to have the extended range. You can still move fast with a decent fire accuracy among the other SMGs. These are the attachments. At 3rd place, we have the Spear. Spear is still one of the best assault rifle options, especially in mid to long range fights. This gun deals 45 headshot damage, 30 upper body damage, and 28 damage on the lower body even on enemies at 50 meters. Whether it's range or damage, this gun has both. The recoil is a bit shaky, similar with the Scar, but it's manageable. The recoil pattern of the Spear mainly goes upward, so controlling it is actually pretty straightforward. Since the gun kicks vertically, all you need to do is drag your aim slightly downward in the opposite direction to keep your shots on target. I prefer using the 4x scope than 3x and thermal scope because there are times when shots don't register well. With the 4x scope, you get a much clearer view of your target, which makes tracking easier and recoil control more consistent. These are the attachments. At 2nd place, we have the UMP-45. The UMP-45 is still the best SMG even though it was nerfed a couple months ago. The UMP-45 still deals 39 headshot damage, 31 damage on the upper chest, 28 abdominal damage, and 25 damage on the lower body at 10 meters. It was also indicated in the previous patch notes that they slightly increased the damage fall-off over range of this gun. Based on my observations, the damage begins to drop on enemies at 15 meters, from a headshot damage of 39 to 31, upper chest damage from 31 to 24, abdominal damage from 28 to 22, and lower body damage from 25 to 20. It's not really a big deal since we use SMGs in close range fights like within 10 meters, and its damage is consistent within that range. This gun will remain at the top of the SMGs unless they buff the other SMGs or add new ones that can change the meta. These are the attachments. At first place, we have the AUG. This is currently the best AR in mid-range fights, and if you prefer playing in Shower Island as well as in squad fights, you've probably seen lots of players using the AUG. This gun deals 36 headshot damage, 25 upper body damage, and 24 lower body damage on enemies at 30 meters. One of the reasons why lots of players use this gun is because of the strong aim assist. They abuse it by tap firing instead of just holding the fire button. What this does is that it resets your crosshairs. It will return to your target after every short burst. It's like you're using the beginner aim assist even though you're using expert. Even enemies on longer distances will get hit if you tap fire. Combined with the gun's fast fire rate, just imagine how fast you can burst enemies, especially in close to mid-range fights. There are a lot of possible loadout variations for this weapon depending on your playstyle. For this build, I focus on balance. This loadout gives me almost the maximum range this gun can offer, along with a decent recoil control so I can still land consistent shots even at longer distances. I also included an attachment to increase sprint fire speed to help in aggressive situations, plus a decent ADS speed for faster reaction time in sudden gunfights. On top of that, I also kept mobility in mind, so I'm not sacrificing movement just to gain range and stability. Overall, these attachments keeps the weapon balanced, strong at range, responsive in close fights, and still mobile enough to perform small movements when needed. Are you using these guns in the current season? What do you think of this list? Comment down your thoughts and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Reloading! Enemy spotted.